He's actually now talking about the killer, how the killer did all this stuff for us. All these things, all you remember in the person who took down the Twin Towers, you just know the name of the guy in Oklahoma, you know the name of the guy, you don't know any of the victims. We're going to remember this guy now, not any of the victims. And especially since Obama, the president-idiot-elect, came and visited because of the actions of the man. Now he's going on and on about what this killer did for the community.
He's given us the chance where we've been lost to find our best selves.
I mean, this guy is twisted. Obama said this killer helped us find our best selves. This guy is twisted.
May not have earned this grace with our rancor and complacency and short-sightedness and fear of each other. But we got it all the same. He gave it to us anyway. To the pain that the Confederate flag stirred in too many of our citizens.
And say Obama is talking about the bad history of the rebel flag. Also, people are now saying, well, the American flag has a lot of bad history, where they shot their own veterans in the 40s. There was a big, like a 99%, if you will, protest in the 40s. Look up the history of American history. They shot all the veterans. American soldiers came in, which soldiers are not supposed to be armed in our country. They came in and shot them up. And then they had a protest in New York City, in the Five Corners. They used naval ships to shoot American citizens, just bomb women and children.
Disperse mob, assailing mere paradise. Let the sons of the rich go and die, they cried. Let the sons of the poor stay home.
See, this is what's going on. They're talking about the Confederate flag up north in New York. The poor say, no, we don't want to go to war. Send your rich people. And there's this big riot that happened in New York. There's now a shortage of a history throughout the history of these fuckers coming and killing you. And be sanctimonious, oh, we're God and good. Bullshit. Fuck you. Says the Lord God. And God's going to rain terror on them. I've contacted the Pentagon today and I gave them an ultimatum. You go my way or I'll fuck you up the ass. I'm going to fist fuck the Pentagon. If they don't answer to my demands, they're going to get fist fucked.
For many, black and white, that flag was a reminder of systemic oppression.
Obama's saying that the South was oppression. No, the South was more free than the Union at that time in history.
Train and equip our police so that the bonds of trust between law enforcement and the communities they serve make us all safer and more secure.
It's like the Emperor said, a more secure society. For a more secure society. The thunderous applause, so goes democracy. That simple, would we give it away? I mean, blacks and whites were fighting together against the tyrants, the evil thugs. Across the country, the biggest racists were executing prosecutors and judges and their thugs. The Black Panthers, they hate the whites. The white supremacists, I don't know what group it was, that guy saying they're white supremacists, they were all killing them. And now this attack. That so many crazy people focused on one enemy, law enforcement.
We now realize the way racial bias can infect us, even when we don't realize it. So
He's talking about racial bias. Obama wrote, Dreams of My Father was the most racist anti-white manifesto in history. He was elected under a wave of racism against the white man. It's ridiculous. It's not the white man, it's the corporates. It's the 1%. They're fucking you.
called Johnny back for a job interview, but not Jamal.
How dare he say that, right? Who is the name of all the people you've hired? Look at all the people you've hired. Look at all the people hired in the Department of Justice. All the people hired in TSA. They're all Jamal. Johnny's home with his brain burned out on meth because he's not getting a job because of affirmative action. Because Johnny's smart enough to know he's not going to get a shot because after they let all Jamal get all the jobs in TSA and all these different places, they're going to let people from other countries, from India and from Mexico and Central America, they're all going to get the jobs now. They're going to go out and kill people, murder people, like the other people did that weren't Americans they keep hiring in the federal government. It's madness. We're living in fucking madness. I just thank God for patriots when I put a bullet in these fuckers' heads. And here we go.
Other place.
Talking about his agenda.
The vast majority of Americans.
Now the problem is guns. It's not that he didn't hear our warning. Okay, now he's going to gun owners' fault and the blame. It's Obama's blame. Obama's fault. He's blaming Congress. Now he's blaming guns. He was warned that this incident was going to happen by yours truly, God's messenger. That a dozen will die in Charleston. He was called and that he's not available. To the top national security advisor, who's now proclaiming he's a messenger of God, he's not available. The guy who can predict the future and save these people. This fuck, let them die.
Entire communities.
Yes. Yes.
To some other place.
Yes. I know.
Yeah.
The vast majority of Americans, the majority of gun owners, want to do something about this.
No, stop. No, they don't. No, they don't. They do. I would say they want to do something about this is get him the fuck out of office. Oh, one more year. Thank God. No, we can thank God at this moment. Only less than a year. And he's gone. Amen.
And I'm convinced that by acknowledging the pain and loss of others, even as we respect the traditions and ways of life that make up this beloved country.
Does anybody believe he respects the traditions of this country? Nobody believes that. And here's Obama telling us that we don't need grace or it's not by grace. He doesn't know anything about God. He doesn't know anything about anything. And here he's going to start telling us about God, this piece of shit, who hangs out with that golfer, Tiger Woods, molesting underage whores. Fucking weirdo. Let's listen more of the shit for brains. Just tell you know he's a shit.
We're all sinners. We don't deserve it.
Speak for yourself, buddy. Speak for yourself.
But God gives it to us anyway.
No, he doesn't know what God gives or does. This piece of shit does not speak. He's not God's messenger. But now I guess you're elected president. Now you're God's messenger. He couldn't fix anything. No peace in the Middle East. But now he's God's messenger. Let's listen to the failure. I mean, the president of racism rode in on a wave of racism. Successful at racism. President of racists tell us what God wants. I don't buy it.
And we choose how to receive it. It's our decision how to honor it. None of us can or should expect a transformation in race relations overnight. Every time something like this happens, somebody says we have to have a conversation about race. We talk a lot about race.
I wonder who. All right, I wonder who started this whole thing, why this is happening, right? Remember, all the crazy people were attacking law enforcement. It's according to what they're telling us crazy. I think they're patriots. I don't think they're crazy. I think they're all patriots. But the media is telling us this. Now all of a sudden, out of the blue, a crazy person attacks black people in a church. Doesn't that sound kind of odd? Now he's saying, oh, making a deal, an agenda out of it. Oh, look what happened. It's a black and white thing, and that's all he's been saying, black and white. Remember what Messenger of God's been telling you, is this, most of the people on this earth are either Asian or brown.
We don't need more talk.
Right? We don't need more talk. You see that? How he said that? We don't need more talk? That means we don't need any opposition to what he says. And everything he says, he's a dictator. He's a third world, small-minded idiot dictator. Yes, we do. We need, this is America, the freedom of speech. We need talk. God Messenger says we need ideas. And we need to have a list of advisors in over 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, who was right. If there's some fucker, we want to know the Joe Montana of advisors and analysts. We want to know who told you so. We want to know that. Why don't we know? Because that would infer that they do what the advisor says, or else they're wrong and they don't want you to know. They've killed Americans so much they don't want to know that the top national security advisor, now proclaiming to be the messenger of God, was telling them to save lives, and they say, hey, nobody told us. That's the story behind this shit for brain. That's the story behind this eulogy.
But it would be a betrayal of everything Reverend Pinckney stood for, I believe, if we allowed ourselves to slip into a comfortable silence again.
Right. Comfortable silence. You mean Obama being silent about being warned that this was going to happen? He was called by yours truly, the messenger of God, and warned that this was going to happen. He ignored the warning, and I think he let him die. I've been warning the presidents, Clinton, Bush, and him, for 20 to 25 years. And all these lies were just, I can tell you, they have not been listening. Would you listen? I mean, I wouldn't listen to somebody coming up saying something at first, but if they were continually right over the years and kept telling me what was going to happen and happen, I'd start listening, wouldn't you? But Obama says, nah, we're not going to make time. We'll ignore this son of a bitch. And then we'll lie. We'll go out there and lie in front of the people. They're all dead because he didn't do what he's told. I guess the presidents of the United States don't want to do what they're told by the top national security advisor, who now proclaims he's a messenger of God. So they do not want to listen to the messenger of God. And they're saying, wow, why did the national security advisor start saying he's a messenger of God, and these people start talking from the, you know, he was talking as he's from God when he was talking about Beau Biden's piece of shit tyrant son. Now this piece of shit tyrant. What do you think? We don't need analysis? He does a shout out to me. He's hearing my calls. We call every day.
That's what I felt this week.
You felt
an open heart.
Closed motherfucker.
That more than any particular policy or analysis.
Oh, analysis. I wonder who he's talking about. Yours truly, God's messenger. See, before I was God's messenger, I was the top analyst of the United States of America. Then I became the top national security advisor of the United States of America. Then I proclaimed one day I'm God's messenger. And now listen to who bozo doesn't want to hear any analysis. It's just my way or the highway. You fucking piece of shit. I'm not going down with you. I'm not going to wait for the decisions. All those people waiting for the decisions of the Supreme Court of the gay marriage, I'm not going to wait for somebody to decide whether I feel I'm right or wrong. I'm going to let myself judge. You be the judge. You judge. Don't wait for some goofy idiots in black dresses to decide for you. And there's another decision. They're all getting together for some other decision. I forgot that what it was. A couple decisions. They're all waiting for it was gay marriage, and what was the other one, you guys? I'm glad nobody here in the audience remembers, because it's not worth it. We don't care what they're going to decide. We're going to decide for ourselves. That's good. But there are two big decisions coming out, and it's good that the audience and I don't know, because we don't give a shit what they think. They already say killing babies is okay, you know, so we don't give a shit what they think. Oh, Obama's health care is okay. That's okay to force people into something to make them pay. I mean, they're tyrants, right? They were said tyrants. They're called out by the messenger of God that you're piece of shit idiots. You're not a Supreme Court. You're a court of gestures and goofballs and idiots. You're fuckers. Saying it's okay. See, that's how they are. That's how these public servants are. We're going to use words like abortion. So it's not thou shalt commit murder. It's, it doesn't say thou shalt commit abortion. That's how these eggheads are. They're going to make up a word that says, oh, we're not murdering them, we're abortion them. So yeah, to hell with them, and I'm not going to wait for any decision from them fuckers. But congratulations, gays. I mean, yeah, let the people gay get married. Why not? Who gives a shit? How does that affect me? You know, you wouldn't need this Medicare and all this insurance stuff. You know what? They're preventing doctors from becoming doctors because they're telling them there's not enough slots. It's not that we have 1 million people that don't want to be doctors. They only have a very few slots. You have this many people want to be doctors, there's this many slots. Check into it. There's something screwy going on. It's almost like they don't want you to be doctors. Yeah, just think the 1% wants more doctors to save the people they want dead. They want the 99%. That just makes sense, doesn't it? That fact of them not wanting doctors and say something stupid like, oh, there's not room for your doctors. And then you're getting knows by the media saying, oh, there's not enough doctors, we need more doctors. And the fact is they're not letting people be doctors because they're telling the people in school saying, well, there's not enough slots. You got to wait till a slot opens up to be a doctor. See the double talk, see the bullshit? The truth, what I hear that as an analyst here is that the 1% doesn't want the 99% to be treated to have medical attention because they want you to die.
Amazing grace. Amazing grace. Amazing grace. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. But now I see. That precious and extraordinary gift.
A gift, right there. It's all about a gift. He keeps mentioning gift, gift, gift. And the gift he threw away, that somebody who can predict the future. And he threw that gift away, these people are dead. What does he dare even say gift? See, even his guilty mind and conscience is telling you the clues of what he knows already. Listen to him in his speeches and his eulogy. He gives away his guilt. His conscience is coming out. He's talking about the analyst. And now this. He's very clearly guilty. He's guilty. He knows he's been told and warned to let these people die. It's Barack and St. Obama's fault they're dead.
Lives endure.
Yes, sir.
May grace now lead them home. May God continue to shed His grace on the United States of America.
God continued to shed His grace on the United States of America. All right? There's all these riots going on. We're shooting at, thank God. I mean, that's good about shooting the police all the time. The tornadoes and the drought in California, which is a food basket of America, and the overrun by illegal immigrants, the disease, the measles outbreak. What exactly is he talking about? God's grace. Huh? Is he one of those people that get blasted by a tornado and say, oh, thank you, God? What's he talking about? Is he on drugs? Probably. The guy who shot people, you're not safe anywhere. They took away your rights for your security. You're keep you safe, and you're not safe, right? Even in a church, even in a movie house, not safe. You pray to a false god, you're dead. I mean, stop going down the false paths and follow God. A few will follow God. The rest of you are going to follow, your Muslim shit, your Christian shit, your Muhammad, your Jesus, false gods, taking you to hell. And you're dead for it. Follow God. I am God's messenger. I will tell you what to think, what to do. Do what I say or die. Now you have a good night. Good luck.